Greetings, my dearest beloved friends. So today we are going to learn about the keys of high mastery that Almin defines as the ascension attitudes. According to Almin, if we always express them, we may reach a state in which we will be able to permanently live on Earth, in our immortal physical bodies. Today our attention is on the first three, which are the foundational ones. Two others were revealed to Almin relatively recently, and we will discuss them in our next video in 2 weeks. And as you know, one of the ultimate achievements of a master is physical immortality, the eternal life of the flesh, but not this atomic flesh. It's totally new flesh, totally new body that's being formed under the cover of a placeholder that is felt by us as our current physical bodies. We know that as we live in what Almin calls the ascension attitudes, we are being transformed from the mortal to the immortal, from the corruptible to the incorruptible. And in the process, we are progressing in our high mastery all the time. Our lives become lives of miracles more and more and more as we keep cultivating those states of being on daily basis or even minute by minute basis. That would be the best. Once Almin told that basically it's all that we need to know at practice. All other tools just support this process. If we practice those areas of life, we practice all Almin's teachings and become resurrected, immortal, incorruptible masters. So our today's video is the most important video, really. All other videos just support, magnify, and empower in you those keys of the most high mastery. As you live in constant awareness of keeping and strengthening those qualities in your life, you always live at the highest of the highest level of mastery. But of course, you still progress. There's always something more and more and more and more. And the more you get, the more you want. New heights, new achievements, new developments, new levels of capacities and possibilities. Your life becomes more and more and more effective and efficient in all its areas. So now we get to the essence of those qualities. It's going to be 100% practical coaching, a how-to style. Practical meanings and application of love, praise, and gratitude. And we'll talk about trust and hope in our next video in 2 weeks. Let's start with love. First of all, we need to clarify all confusion and misunderstanding around this term. What love is not. Many people call sex making love. Sex is not love. It's just a biological function, like breathing, heartbeat, food digestion, and elimination. So sex drive has nothing to do with love, absolutely. Emotional attachment to other people is not love either. It's really ties that bind. And they literally bind or paralyze us in our progress in the mastery of high magic. If it's still our current experience, if we still feel emotionally bound, emotionally attached to other people, including spiritual masters and teachers, then there's no chance for us to operate in the realm of the second, let alone the third ring of magic. Although we can achieve some levels of spiritual and personal progress, but it's no further than just being a part of infrastructure for some other master of high magic. We can become great top managers of the organization if we have one, if they have one, or we can be very skilled in taking care of some menial tasks for the masters of high magic. They can definitely achieve some level of personal financial success in those areas, but they cannot operate in the area of the supernatural. They cannot create their own lives and their own realities unless they completely exit dependent and codependent relationships and set themselves completely free from all emotional attachment. Things like, I can't live without this person. I want to be together with this person. I miss this person. All of those inner states, or people call them feelings, indicate the fact of emotional ties that bind, emotional attachments in our lives. When you are free and independent, you don't live by those feelings. You can live with or without anyone. You can be together with someone or you can be alone by yourself. You don't feel any difference between communications and solitude. And consequently, you can't miss someone or something. If you feel like we miss someone, then we're definitely still attached emotionally to the one whom we miss or the one whom we need. Only in a state of freedom from dependence and codependence, to be more precise, from emotional, intellectual, or spiritual attachment to someone else, we can finally experience true love. Our first ascension attitude, our first key to immortal mastery, and to the second and the third rings of magic. And it's a matter of choice, my friends. You can choose, you can decide to exit all the dependent and codependent relationships and to break all ties that bind and paralyze you. It's not necessarily a long process. You can do it in a nanosecond. Like if we are drowning and someone throws us a lifesaver, life-saving ring, we just grab it and stay alive. If they're really acutely aware that they're drowning, they're perishing in codependent relationships, emotional attachment, that it's dangerous for our lives if we really understand that, if we're really aware of that. We don't have time to reason and contemplate and philosophize about what Mr. Freud wrote about it, what Mr. Jung's opinion is. Can it be done in a nanosecond, or it takes years and years of psychological assistance, professional psychological assistance? Psychologists want to keep their job. That's why they try to make you believe that it takes a lifetime to process your relationships. And there's no guarantee that freedom will be achieved in this lifetime, they may even say. But fortunately, we are not looking for returning customers, and we don't want to lie to you. We are here to speak the truth as it is. It takes a nanosecond to set yourself free from codependent relation. Just your decision, firm decision, and then a little bit of time of deleting them from your personal contact list. But only those can do it who are aware that they're drowning, dying, perishing. Some people can be at such a level of intoxication on drugs or alcohol, for example, or some emotional intoxication, informational intoxication. There are so many kinds of intoxication that they may be unaware of their drowning and they can't do anything else except helpless, hopeless termination of their physical existence. As they're not even aware that they're dying. Yes, codependent ones, the emotionally attached ones, can really achieve some limited measure of success in their earthly lives, like all others in similar situations. They get their education, then a job, then retirement, then death. But as we make our life-saving, firm decision to exit all emotional dependence, codependence, and confirm it with our radical lifestyle change, then you exit this deadly pattern and enter the realms of high magic of the infinite, which are the second and the third realms of magic. Don't even try to love if you are still emotionally attached, because you can't access a state of true love in this case. In this case, you can only experience sexual, emotional, intellectual, and spiritual attachment, ties that bind you. It was about 10 years ago we hosted someone in Russia from a foreign country who positioned himself as almine student, and he was supposed to teach almine's work. And basically his teaching was just reading excerpts from almine's writings. And nothing was shared about his personal experience or practical application of the teachings, just mechanically reading the scripts. And during question and answer sessions, he either quoted excerpts from almine's works, or fortunately, he had direct access to almine by phone, by text, and texted her people's questions. As he said, he doesn't know the answers, only Almin knows everything, and he knows nothing. This example of intellectual dependence on a teacher, a perfect example of dependence relationship with a teacher. We know nothing, only teacher knows everything. So those people can be great managers, IT people, administrators, and other menial jobs, but it takes only one simple firm decision to exit all dependent, codependent relationships to become a master of high magic of the infinite. And this is Almin's original idea to assist us in achieving complete independence, especially in 2019, when she said, "Now I will not be available anymore, except from time to time at her discretion." But for us, not to count on that, but to rely only on ourselves and ourselves alone. We have all the tools to assist us: runes, Kivesta, and many other tools. As we know, the main purpose of all Amin's work is to help us get our personal power back and walk in our independent mastery. And still, we have some of our light families saying that they miss Almin, they need Almin, and things like that. When we are independent masters of our own lives, Almin is still here in our life. We don't miss her. But it's totally different level of interaction, known only by free independent masters. It's no longer I know nothing, you know everything relationships. It's I know everything and you know everything relationships. Like I learned this saying here in America, you're okay and I'm okay. So it's you're okay and I'm okay relationships with Almin and with all others in our lives. It's what Almin is teaching us. Your being is your sustenance. Your being is your sustenance, not Almin's being is your sustenance, or vice versa, or both ways. No, of course. So those conversations, like, my life belongs to my teacher. I literally heard someone from our light family. My life belongs to Almin. If this is what you understand as the meaning and purpose of your life, then you miss the whole point. Then, in this case, I highly recommend you to reread the Life of Miracles book. So now back to our topic. Love. It was still an important preliminary discussion because we would never understand what love is if we don't understand what love is not. So what is love? First of all, according to Almin, there's only one form of love: self-love. All love is self-love. And all true relationships are relationships with self. All other forms of relationships are a side effect of our relationships with ourselves. The original meaning of ancient Eastern Western words from which the modern word love is originated. You can Google origin of word love or etymology of word love. It is to be at one with yourself, to put yourself first and others second, to take care of yourself first, and put your personal desires, goals, and interests above everyone else's goals, desires, and interests. If you reach perfection in your self-love, then you just don't worry about others. They will get all side effects of your self-love, because if they're in your life, they live in a mega force field of your infinite beingness, and you observe as their lives are improving, becoming more healthier, more fulfilled as a side effect of interaction with you. Never put anyone else first and yourself second. Never place anyone else above yourself. It means that you can't have any higher powers or higher authorities over you. No one can tell you how to live and what to do. Only you are in charge of your life. This is true love. If you keep this state of being around the clock, then you experience the power of the first ascension attitude. By the way, if you are free from dependent, codependent relationships, If you are spiritually, intellectually, emotionally, physically, and sexually free of others, then you naturally experience a state of true love as an ascension attitude. You can interact with others. Sometimes we have to. For example, in business relationships, at work, many of us have jobs, but we are not attached. We begin to notice that we prefer solitude over communications, above communications. But when we spend some time in solitude and feel overflowing with wisdom and power and grace, which we accumulated in our solitude, and we experience natural urge to share it with others, then we schedule some meetings with other people or turning on a video camera and microphone in the comfort of your home, and our mouth begins to speak out of abundance of our hearts. Next ascension attitude is very easy to achieve out of the state of self-love. We are naturally inclined to think and speak highly about ourselves. In our state of freedom, we never experience such feelings as shyness, false humility, false modesty. If you're a businessman or business lady and you offer some products and services, you are saying through all your promotional channels that your products and services are the best in all the world. You are the best of the best. Whatever you offer, it's the best and the most highest quality, and people can be sure that they will receive the best of all the best. This is one of the simplest examples of a practical praise, self-praise. As we see, a true praise is a self-praise. But you can ask, should not we praise others at all? We'll talk about this later in our other videos. Today, please focus on self-praise only, please. Most of us perfectly know how to praise others at our own expense. From our childhood, most of us had such parental upbringing. Don't think that you are better than others. Put others first. Be considerate of others first. Don't think about yourself too high. There are others higher than you. Sounds familiar? No more comments. Today, we are just touching basics. If you have any questions, please contact us. You'll find our contact information in the description to this video. But what we cover today will be enough for you to practice for the next weeks. Our next video will be in 2 weeks. So practice, practice, practice. Start thinking highly about yourself. Speak highly about yourself before others. Create your own video channel and tell the world that your products or offers or services are the best in all the world. You are the best Balvaspata practitioner, for example, or whatever you work, your business is. You are the best of all the best. Next ascension attitude, gratitude. This word is originated from two Latin words, gratis, that means for free, free of charge, and gratus, a pleasant gift. Basically, it is love in action. If you love yourself, you always do something pleasant, something positive, something beneficial for yourself. In Russian, the word gratitude consists of two words, to give a gift and something of high quality. It means give yourself the highest quality of life. If you live in the ascension attitudes, then you live in the light of truth. You walk in the light. In Latin, the light is lux, lux aeterna, eternal light. And the word luxury is originated from this word, lux, lux aeterna, the light of your eternal divine truth. If you live in light of your personal highest truth, you'll always live in luxury as a side effect. So your desire to create a luxury lifestyle is a natural effect of walking in light. Walking in the light divine. If to communicate all means wisdom in simple words, um, This is how it is. Presenting Almin's teaching in simplified form is my strong suit. You see an example of me praising myself. Do the same. Sometimes we need to make complex things simple for practical reasons. To live in self-gratitude. Self-gratitude sounds almost like self-gratification. Yes, it is the highest form of self-gratification, a literal meaning of the word gratitude, but not to be confused with base forms of self-gratification as being addicted to drugs, alcohol, sex, and rock and roll. This is what founders of New Age movement in the United States tried to achieve. The 1960s, Southern California, drugs such as LSD and others, Eastern meditations, out-of-body experiences, channelings, accompanied by Beatles music, and who really stood behind this natural project. Maybe I will elaborate on that in my other videos, but not today. There's a risk that when you find the truth about all of this, you'll begin treating meditation as a curse word. Just a little preliminary warning. The idea of free sex was born there too. So we're not talking about this particular way of self-gratification. Actually, true self-gratitude or self-gratification is naturally originated from self-love and self-praise. Also, the word price is originated from praise. You begin to value yourself extremely highly, to prize yourself. You can see it in Almin's life as our example of living in beauty and luxury. We are her students, and a student is inspired by an example of its teacher. If you highly value yourself, you will never be satisfied with the average and the mediocre, lower than the luxury quality of life, the highest quality of life. It means that you give yourself one of the most valuable gifts: enough sleep. You eat the best and the highest quality food because you love yourself and value yourself extremely highly. You don't feed yourself with trash, low quality food, physical and intellectual. You don't want filthy news, TV shows, movies that destabilize and distort your mind, brain, and nervous system. Much of the entertainment, computer games, video channels, harshly and mercilessly manipulate our nervous system to bring a user to damaging states of emotional instability, mental dysfunction, and even series of nervous breakdowns. And you'll find out that what you really need is not entertainment in your leisure time. Finding your true love, yourself, as your only true love, yourself as your only object of praise. Your natural inclination is to give yourself only the best of the best. And the best for your brain, for your nervous system, and you want to take really excellent care of them. And there's a great reason for that, because you know that they are primary conduits for the flow of supernatural divine power to heal and power to manifest. And if they're clogged with unhealthy information, they can't be fully functional. You need a power line that can handle 5,000 volts. And what if it's too weak and it can handle only 110? And what will happen if you try to run 5,000 through it? You guess what may happen. So increasing capacity of your physical power line is your task number one, especially if you have a serious intent to practice the third ring magic. It takes a true self-gratitude lifestyle to be able to do it. Plenty of sleep, plenty of time in total silence and solitude, no news, no TV, no entertainment, a lot of self-contemplation, planning, visualizing, creating to-do lists, strategizing. If you're a business person, it's a must for you to have reliable and durable high-capacity power line for understandable reasons. plenty of rest, plenty of sleep, high quality food, fresh air, a lot of water, comfortable, reliable transportation. It's better to drive in silence than listening to the radio. More focus, less risk to get into an accident. All of those little things are just a part of relaxed, comfortable luxury lifestyle. Start thinking in this direction. See if there's something else that you want to add to this list to create for yourself the most peaceful, the most relaxed, comfortable luxury life. Never sacrifice yourself for whatever, especially for other people. Never do anything at your own expense. No one and nothing is worth your life sacrifice, self sacrifice. We can bring much more benefit to our environment and to other people in our environment by cultivating the best quality of life. Self gratitude is always looking for ways to upgrade ourselves and quality of our lives on minute by minute basis. Establish your personal boundaries and permanently delete people from your life who trespassed them even once. Because if they did it one time, they will do it all the time. There's no place in our lives for people who treat us with disrespect. Now it's yours to figure out how to apply it in your personal life on practical level. Enough for today. We covered three basic ascension attitudes, which we also use for closing most of Bilvaspata sessions in most of modalities. There are other modalities where we also need to use two additional attitudes, trust and hope, which were revealed to Almin relatively recently, and it will be very easy for us to integrate them after our full integration of those three foundational ones: self-love, self-praise, self-gratitude. More than enough work for us for the next weeks. Talk to you soon.